Hello, everybody, and welcome. That is entirely the wrong there we go. Hello and welcome to another Fundamentalist Fails. It is Friday for me. Your day may differ vastly. It may be Thursday, but welcome to my Friday. One of the best days of the week because I get to look at Fundamentalist videos and comment and have fun. So there's been a developing situation that just really ties in with it as well. And you'll see as we go along. So this one is great. And I don't know why. Like, so this is from Off the Curb Ministry. Off the Curb Ministry. And it's I think it's Jack Kirby. I can't even remember his name. It's basically Kirby. He is a weirdo. He's annoying. He's absolutely he's a weird duck. He's a weird one. But I do have sort of his latest video which ties in with what is going on, and you will see that. But he kind of is this very very weird guy that sort of I mean, I don't know why he's got like 2 million followers. He's very odd. Joe Kirby, yeah, it's Joe Kirby. And he started in the UK as sort of an evangelical pastor. Yeah, 2.58 million followers on YouTube, and his videos are so I don't know. There's something weird about the way that he talks. It's like he's talking to children. It's really odd, and it's really weird. But Joe Kirby, wow, I'd love to laugh at the guy because he's just so stupid. He's just so weird. Oh, Jessica, you're in for a treat. Then you're in for a treat. Oh, Kirby. He sort of he's kind of um a UK version of almost Alex Jones. Um it's almost like he's a if Alex Jones was a kindergarten teacher telling kids about the end of the world in a way that won't scare them, but they need to go find Jesus, basically. Like it is wild and odd and I was talking with I think it was a psychologist sort of why he uses this inflective tone, and it's kind of like that way that people use it with you when they think you don't know something that you really should know, but don't be alarmed because it'll be okay. Like when someone has bad news for you, but you can't handle it, like that kind of tone, kind of thing that he's got some deep level of knowledge and he's trying to tell you about it. It's very condescending. Yeah, no, I totally get you, Jedi. Totally condescending. Yes. Yes. Um yes. Yes, but the weird part is it ties into something that's currently happening in the US. So it ties into it. But it's absolutely sensational. I like doing Kirby videos just because there's so much to laugh at. Like really. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Anyway, I'll get it up on the screen. But I hope you're having a wonderful day. I always enjoy my Fridays because some of these people, I swear, I swear. So this is the video. This is the name of the video is something. What was it? Something strange happened when Elon Musk predicted the end of the world. Sorry, something strange happened when Elon Musk simulated the end of the world. Yes, yes. Something strange happened when Elon Musk simulated the end of I hadn't known that Elon Musk was doing world-ending simulations, quite frankly, but apparently here we are. I didn't think that was Elon Musk's speciality. Anyway, I will press ahead. This is Kirby. what a weird duck this man is. Like, seriously.
Cancel all the plans you have for tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Cancel all of the plans I have for tomorrow. Oh, well. What is this? Like, this is Earth 2025 and Mars 2050. I didn't realize Mars was so blurry. And why is I don't think Mars is going to have an atmosphere by 2050, at least one capable of sustaining human life. Like, what is this? This is just an AI blur of like a random street somewhere. I don't understand. What is this meant to be? I'm so confused.
Because Elon Musk says the Earth is doomed.
Do you think Earth?
The Earth is doomed. Yes, the Earth is always doomed. Yes, it's always doomed. So that's tomorrow, is it, Kirby? Cancel all my plans for tomorrow. Well, I was going to do something, but it looks like the Earth is doomed, people. The Earth is doomed.
It's coming to an end?
That is a certainty. Just a question of when.
He isn't saying this could happen, or maybe we should be slightly concerned, but straight up, all life will be destroyed by the sun. That's what he's saying. Okay, but if you thought that sounded bad...
Yeah, so we've known that for decades and decades and decades. So if you're unaware, right, the sun is doing fusion, right? So it's fusing together hydrogen to make helium. And in this fusion, it puts off energy, like in the form of radiation, mostly gamma radiation, shortwave radiation that hits the Earth, provides warmth, all of that kind of good stuff. But at some point, the Earth is going to run out of hydrogen to fuse, and it will start fusing heavier elements. And at that point, it will start expanding. But that's like in millions or a billion years or something. Like it's not like cancel your plans for tomorrow. It really is something that it's not something to be worried about. You're going to be gone long before the Earth starts fusing heavier elements. Wow. Watch out, cancel your plans tomorrow. We've only got a billion years before the sun expands and consumes us all. 5 billion, is it? Yeah, no, something like that. It's just ridiculous, like it's so ridiculous. Like, cancel your plans tomorrow. In 5 billion years, the sun will expand. What? Why?
Well, Elon and his friends have even set the year for when they think this will happen. But before we come to that, and why...
Yeah, before we mention the year is like the year 5 billion and 25. Like, before we come to the thing that completely destroys my be wary, scary. And so if you're unaware at the moment, Elon Musk is in the news again because him and Donald Trump, it's really bad. They've broken up and they're currently going through, what could only be described as a lover's quarrel. It really is just an absolute shit show. So if you're unaware, and this sort of happened overnight, so I sort of got this way before this started happening. So incidentally, they're currently having a complete spat on X and Truth Social over Trump's like Elon is calling for Trump to be impeached. Trump is saying Elon is just a liar. Musk fired off a tweet that said that an X bomb. I don't know what they call it. Look, I didn't use Twitter. I'm certainly not using X. There's no frigging way. Tesla share plunge amidst Trump feud wipes 152 billion off the company. Oof. Like they've just basically had a little tiff. Trump mocked Elon's black eye. Oh, here we go.
For a long time, you saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best things. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it. He's upset.
Yeah, so from what I can tell, what's happened is Trump has come out with a sort of spending bill, and it's cut incentives for electric cars. So, you know, and he doesn't like the spending bill, but it also cuts incentives. Like the bill did not benefit Tesla's, Musk's electronic. That should be electric, sir. It doesn't run on electronics. It runs on electrics. What is this? Guardian, I think it is. Yeah, okay. But anyway, basically he, yeah, the EV mandate was going to be cut. So, Musk has sort of blown up because that's really bad for him. And you know, I kind of support EV mandates because you know, they're just there to encourage people to get electric cars, which are better for the environment. Yeah, I'm you know, I'm totally in favor of it. But now now it's kind of like Musk has accused Trump of being in the Epstein files, and that's why he hasn't released them. Basically, you know, so a big fight has occurred essentially in here. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. I wonder if Kirby will have any change of opinion, considering that Musk is now fighting with Trump, which is, you know, yeah, it's wild.
I personally think that date setting is never a good idea. First, listen to this. According to Elon, we're living on borrowed time, and the only real solution is to colonize Mars.
Yeah, but it's not like this is new, or that that is, you know, something that's been off the cards. We've considered it a potentiality for a while now, but it certainly won't be within our lifetimes. It's too difficult. So I don't disagree with Musk on that sort of, you know, colonizing Mars is a good thing to work towards. But I do disagree with his seemingly he wants to like do it tomorrow kind of thing. That's stupid. It's such a long way away. Well, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But ideally it should be both. So there is two planets rather than one, ideally, right? So if there is any sort of existential catastrophe that affects one, it won't affect the other, ideally. But that's not around the corner. That is so far off. Venus is really hard to do. I mean, that's got runaway greenhouse. It's you know, Venus is a difficult. That's way more difficult proposition than Mars. Mars has problems, but you know, Venus is almost impossible.
You know, like moving house. But instead of calling a van, you need a rocket and $1 billion space program to move there. It is no secret that Elon Musk recently told Fox News that eventually all life on Earth will be incinerated. Not because of AI or someone with a big red button, although he did warn that these are real possibilities. But he's saying the biggest problem we have is the sun. Elon...
I don't think he said that the biggest problem we have is the sun. Like, you know, if we're talking about things that wipe us out before we manage to colonize another planet, things that destroy this planet before we get to colonize another one, the sun is not even, like, that's not a problem. Like, that is so far away. It's not, it's not, it's not, it's not a, like, it's the last thing we should be concerned with. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, in 1 billion years, we're going to have problems, but like 5 billion years, 6 billion years, like, why? At that point, right? It's 6 billion years when the sun starts to fuse heavier elements than hydrogen and expand, thus causing things to heat up. By then, hopefully we would have made it to, say, Titan, for instance, which seems to be like a sort of in a proto-Earth kind of situation. That some planets and some moons, more accurately, further out, might actually be more viable at that point, because the sun isn't just going to explode and wipe, it's going to slowly expand over an amount of time. So you know, like, who knows how developed humanity will be if we make it another billion years, like, just say 1 billion years. It sort of is, it sort of is beyond our understanding of what the humans will be like at that point. I would not, like, if we make it to that point, and that's a big if. So that's why the sun is just the least of our problems. Climate change, nuclear war, chemical, sort of bio weapons, you know, all of these things, all of them are more important than, hey, the sun will expand. Like, all of them are way more important because they all could provide an existential crisis that'll affect us way before the sun starts becoming an issue. Like, at the moment, that is the least of our concerns. And you know, in 1 billion years, who knows what stage of technology we'll be at? It's surviving those billion years against our own stupidity, our own short-sightedness, our own willingness to do things that are not in our best interest. Like, all of these things, they're really self-inflicted harms. You know, all of the climate change, nuclear war, biochemical weapons, you know, all of these things are our own stupidity. There may be, you know, and our eternal fight against viruses, bacteria, things like that. Sure, that's not us, but you know, it is something that we try to sort of fight against. All of these are more significant problem than just um, bloody the sun expanding. Yeah, it's pretty stable at the moment. I wouldn't worry about it, Elon. Seriously. Yahooligan for 2 Canadian dollars. Thank you, Yahooligan. I'm starting a Save the Sun fundraiser. Nice. Nice. Yeah, sun in big problems. Yeah, you know, it's only got a few billion years on it. It's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Oh, boy. Yeah, and I did mention that they are absolutely destroying one another. You know, it makes me wonder who's going to get the kids. You know, the kids being the right wing. You know, the right wing fuckboys. Who's going to get the kids? You know, the chuds and chudettes. Who is going to get get the kids? I don't know. I strongly suspect it might be Elon. I'm not sure though. It's weird. It's very weird. It's weird over there in sort of Chudland at the moment. It's very strange. as they're sort of going absolutely ham on each other. Yeah.
Claims that it's gradually expanding and will eventually fry the Earth like a forgotten piece of bread in the toaster. And that's why he says, I quote, Mars is life insurance for life collectively. Guys,
Look, there isn't anything really wrong with that outlook, that spreading life to another planet is kind of like having insurance against, say, a rogue asteroid that hits it, or something else that happens. Like it's not wrong. Wow, every time I freeze frame this guy, I swear to God, like, this guy looks unhinged. I swear, Kirby, you are unhinged. He's not wrong. What he's trying to do is pushing it way faster than we can do it. It's like, it's no secret that Musk wants to save the world. Um, it's just, you can't bully people into doing it. It's kind of, it's sort of, it's sort of really weird. It's very, very strange. You can't just force people into saving themselves, or saving their species. You can't, it's kind of like this. Well, I've got to save the world. Look, the consequences that we're talking about are so far down the line, like and we don't even know if they're going to happen. We don't even know if they're going to happen.
I can't believe what he's claiming here, because he isn't talking about a quick visit to Mars either. He wants a self-sustaining colony, like...
Yeah, we've known this for ages. This is like, this is weird that he's just finding this out. Like, if he's actually followed anybody like Neil deGrasse Tyson, or any kind of NASA account, or anybody, he would know that this is not a, a a new idea. This isn't like, oh, well, Elon's just come up with this. No, this has been talked about for literally decades. It's so weird to hear it as this, oh, well, there's big news. This isn't news. There's nothing new about it. Look, yeah, and Big Bad Mama is right. We should focus on our own planet first, and sort of preserving our own planet for as long as possible. It's kind of, yes, it is a good idea to colonize so you have another planet in case of existential crisis, but there is no reason to destroy your own planet trying to make it happen, right? That's going to be the problem. Like, you want to preserve your own planet first and foremost, so you don't destroy yourself trying to get to another one. It's pointless, because then you don't have life. Like, the idea of life insurance is that you've got a backup. And if you destroy your own planet trying to get to another one, then you don't have a backup. You just have one. And one that is probably worse off than if you tried to preserve your own planet. So I kind of agree with both Big Bad Mama and Elon Musk. Yes, we've got to preserve our own planet, but having another one is a good idea. It's just, you don't want to destroy your own, trying to get there. That's all.
If Earth was unsuitable for life, humans on Mars would be able to carry on planting potatoes and watching reruns of Friends for as long as they like, because apparently that's how you continue consciousness. Now, please don't misunderstand me, it's not just Musk with the doomsday calendar. Scientists from NASA and Toho University in Japan backed him up, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah, so as it turns out, it isn't Elon Musk doing the computer simulations, because, Elon Musk is not some kind of scientist. He's not even really an engineer. He really is an entrepreneur, first and foremost. He's not some kind of genius scientist that's running simulations in the lab. I mean, come on, we all know that, right? So when Kirby here says, oh, what do you call the video? A strange thing happened when Elon Musk ran this simulation. No, Elon Musk not running any simulations. So this is Kirby. This is emblematic Kirby. He takes things, makes a really huge huge deal out of some part of it, and it's not even accurate. That's what he does, and it's so hilarious that he sort of has such a huge following. Yeah, so scientists in NASA and Toho University, modeled the Earth's climate atmosphere over billions of years, predicting the Earth will eventually become uninhabitable due to the sun's increasing luminosity and its impact on the Earth's atmosphere, specifically the reduction of oxygen. The research suggests that the sun's increasing heat will cause the oceans to evaporate, surface temperatures to rise dramatically, and Earth's carbon cycle to break down, ultimately leading to a drop in oxygen and a decline in the quality of air. Well, yeah, over billions of years. Like, I don't. Wow.
He ran a whopping 400,000 simulations on supercomputers trying to forecast how the sun will evolve. And yeah, the news isn't looking too great.
The news isn't looking too great. I mean, it's over billions of years. I consider that a win. I consider that a win. If a doctor said to me, "Hey, you've got billions of years to live," I would honestly think that's a win. I don't know. And people are sort of like, and people have said to me, we will never be able to colonize Mars. And I don't know how they can predict that. I don't know if it's possible or not. I don't know if Venus is possible or not. I do know that Mars would be a lot easier than Venus, but maybe we will figure out that technology. Maybe we will come up with a sun shield by then, right? We don't know. Maybe what we can do is put a Dyson sphere around the sun. A Dyson sphere is like it's like an artificial shell. It's only hypothesized, right? But it's an artificial shell so massive that like it captures energy from the sun, basically. So I'll just try and find sort of a visualization of it, right? Yeah, that looks good. So this is what we're talking about. Like that's sort of a Dyson sphere. Like if you put sort of a way to like just say this is so massive, and this would be like so massive to be, it would dwarf the sun because most stars it would dwarf. So we're talking about something, probably thousands and thousands of times the size of the planet. Like the scale of it is almost unimaginable. But if we've got billions of years to do it, it might be feasible. We don't know what we can do in billions of years. The rate of our technology, how fast it has come in simple, few hundred years is incredible. In just a few hundred is actually insane. Is this beyond us? I don't know. It may be beyond us. It might not be. I think there's a much higher chance of wiping ourselves out before we do anything like it. But we don't know for sure. And the important thing is that anybody sort of saying, "Hey, this is what we can't do this as humans." You don't know that. Because all throughout our history, people have said, "Oh, we will never be able to fly. That is the realm of birds and gods and whatever. Like it's beyond humans." They didn't think it was possible. They didn't think that computers were possible. They didn't think tons of things were possible. And it has been. So I am very reluctant to say, like, "Oh, we absolutely are incapable of people say we will never reach outside of our galaxy." I don't know that. I have no idea. Yahooligan for $2 Canadian says, "Make suns great again. Please donate." Oh, thank you, Yahooligan. Thank you very much. And yes, save our sun. It's very sick, you see. Kirby says it's very sick for some reason. It's only got billions of years to live. It's on its deathbed. But this, don't forget, he started out with cancel your plans for tomorrow. Like, tomorrow? This is what he does because he wants everything to be doomsday, Armageddon. It's all around the corner. It's upon us. Even when scientists say, hey, the sun's relatively stable, it's currently fusing hydrogen, you know, we will eventually go through it in billions of years. He's like, the end is nigh. What about that how did you hear the end is nigh? Oh, but this does get better. It absolutely gets better.
They reckon Earth becomes completely uninhabitable in the year, wait for it, 1,000,2021. That's...
Yeah. Okay. So let's pass that for a second. Let's sort of, that is a really good question. That, do stars have days? That's a really good question. I mean, we know that a day is the rotation of the Earth, and the sun, like, being on it and it rotating. That's a day. How do stars have days? Got him. Got him. Absolutely nailed the Canadian to the wall. The sun does revolve. In relation to what though? What's I don't know. You know, but every time I pause this guy, it's just like this unhinged. I love this guy. I really do. I love doing videos on this guy. He just, there's something absolutely horrifying yet silly about the guy. I don't know. But yeah, it's all like 1 billion years. Okay.
1 billion years from now. Literally, if we don't wreck Earth ourselves before...
Yeah, and that's assuming we currently go on the trajectory that we're going on. That's assuming we don't do anything different or in some way mitigate that. And that's assuming that, we don't come up with something else to work against it. I don't know what that might be. I think there was a film called, I think it was called Sunshine. Was it called Sunshine? And it was like, it was really good. It was like a crew going to restart the sun, because it sort of had this this problem with it growing cooler or something, right? It had this issue with it going cooler, which wouldn't happen scientifically, but it wasn't a bad movie. It was first half was really good. Yeah, it was Sunshine. Had Cillian Murphy in it. It was very good. And it was kind of like, yeah, Cillian in it. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it was sort of like trying to restart, like, is there something we could do to inject more hydrogen into the sun so it will fuse more hydrogen instead of going to heavy elements? And, we don't know. After 1 billion years, I would have absolutely no prediction of where our technology would be. I think I would be guessing at best, and I probably do not have the capacity, just as somebody in the 1800s would not have the capacity to understand where their technology would be in 2025. I do not have the capacity to understand where technology would be in 500 years, much less 1 billion.
Or then, the sun's slow glow-up will eventually push temperatures through the roof and wipe out oxygen-producing organisms.
In 1 billion years, Kirby. In 1 billion years. Like, sometimes I don't think that sort of, especially fundamentalists, and especially young Earth fundamentalists, and I'm not sure if Kirby is a young Earth fundamentalist. I don't know. I don't think they understand how long that is. Like, they don't seem to be able to wrap their minds around it. It's very hard to do because we survive 100 if we're lucky. To wrap your mind around 1 billion years, it's kind of really difficult because we don't, we're never going to sort of have that timescale to sort of put it against. just how ancient a billion years ago is. There was no I don't think there was even any mammals a billion years ago. It's an unfathomable amount of time.
First plants, then animals, then you've guessed it, us. So it's not going to be a sudden end of the world tomorrow scenario, but according to their models, a slow cooking of the green world that we all live on. Attention everyone, because here's the really insane part. In about 5 billion years, the sun runs out of hydrogen and enters what's called the red giant phase. It gets massive, so big that Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth will be eaten whole. 1 minute we're orbiting the sun, the next
Attention now. Like, this has been around for ages. This has been common knowledge for ages. Like, this isn't new. This isn't like attention now. And this is what Kirby does. He's kind of like, did you know? Attention. This is happening right now in a billion years. It's sort of this sort of, he really is trying now to use science to do or scientific knowledge that has been around for ages to do doom and gloom predictions for apocalypse stuff. The apocalypse is coming in a billion years. It's so bad. It is so bad because we've known this for ages. And, of all the things that should concern you, this ain't it. This ain't it. There's so many things that are higher priority than this. Like so many things. Our constant wars, our AI. You mentioned AI earlier. Oh, it won't be AI or a big red button. Yeah, but those are things that are more concerning because they could happen like in the next 10 years or, just down the road, not 1 billion years in the future. But of course, Kirby's covered them as well. He said, oh, AI could destroy everybody. Find Jesus for whatever. So the solution to the sun, does anyone want to guess what it is? The solution to the sun? Try and guess what it is. I bet you can guess. I bet you can guess. I know what my prediction will be. I bet you can guess what his answer to the sun expanding and growing hotter due to using up all of its hydrogen.
Next minute, we are the sun, toasted. Are you imagining this right now? Elon Musk and these scientists are claiming that the sun will destroy life on Earth, unless we figure out something else first, or, haven't already managed to destroy ourselves first. However, before you go packing your bags for Mars or building a bunker, everyone now just take a deep breath and let's pause for a moment.
Yeah, so this is sort of his left-handed Jedi with the $2. Thank you, Jedi. Fine, save the damn sun already. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jedi. And yeah, thanks, ya hooligan. You don't have to do that. Like, people, ignore ya hooligan if you want, but I appreciate the running joke. I do appreciate the running joke. I do. Feel free to ignore it. That's fine. I do appreciate the joke. So that's what he does. This is essentially what he does. He will stoke up this fear and sort of, oh, it's something coming right away. But hold on. Just don't pack your bags yet. It's kind of so. When you can really recognize a con man by really. They really focus on those two opposing sides of hope and fear, like fear and then hope, right? You have this problem that's attacking you and there's all this thing, but wait, there's a tiny hope, and then you offer it, right? It's the old snake oil thing. Do you have joint pain? Do you have a bad back? Is it going to stop you from working the mines and feeding your family? Fear no more. Here's my snake oil, which will solve your arthritis, which will solve those problems. The miracle drug of that snake oil, right? This has been the con man's MO for ages. It's been the con man's tried and true. Make them afraid, offer them hope. And that's not to say that's a bad thing. You know, if somebody is accurately describing a problem and describing a solution, but we want to find out, is that fear actually warranted? Is that fear actually one, and is the solution one that actually will solve the problem? You know, so he's basically stoking this fear where, look, ladies and gentlemen, the sun expanding is not a problem, okay? It's not. It is a problem for so far down the line. We've got other priorities. You know, like getting these wars in Europe to stop and the Middle East to stop. Getting a stable government and you know, a governments that are well balanced and focused on the well-being and taking care of people. Um, you know, there's a ton of problems in the world. You know, regulating things like biological research that could be harmful, regulating AI. There's a ton of things that you know, climate change, you know, regulating how much emissions that we're making so we don't cook the earth is a way better priority than, hey, the sun's gonna explode. Um, you know, we've got, as Big Bad Mama said, we've got to take care of this planet first. Absolutely. Because if we can't make it to the technology that we need to colonize another planet, then it's off the table. We've got to take care of our own planet first because we've got to make it to that point, and it's not right around the corner. I am really in favor of doing missions to Mars, you know, as long as they're safe and we can do them within the limits of our technology. I really am in favor of you know, seeing if we can mine asteroids and things like that, as long as it doesn't harm us. You know, so no, we've got to have regulations about bringing asteroids back into Earth orbit to mine. You know, that may be too dangerous. We've got to be smart about this, but first we've got to preserve our own planet until we are at such a time that we can do another planet. And I agree with Big Bad Mama. We shouldn't sacrifice our own to colonize another one. That is just stupid. We have the most viable planet here. But like the sun in a million years, in billions and billions of years, will render the Earth uninhabitable. It doesn't even get on the chart of problems that humanity has. So, you know, oh, you're going to Baja Con? Oh, awesome! That's awesome. You know what? I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous, Justin. I would love to be there, mate. I would absolutely love to be there. I can't tell you how much I really want to be there. It's just not in my budget really, and it's a huge way to fly. You know, I really want to be there, man. That would be so good to see you. And you know, everybody else, all of the other people would be amazing to see. It's just, it's so far and it's so expensive for where I am. I got to go through Sydney even to begin to go anywhere else. So it'd probably be Sydney to like my city to Sydney to probably well, it depends which way around the globe I go, but it's probably because like not a lot of planes just fly over the Pacific. That's the thing. Not like to the north. So it'd probably be Pacific to South America somewhere to America to Canada. Basically, it would be a long trip. Hopefully we'll get some before the sun goes. Look, I'm not promising. Look, he said cancel my plans for tomorrow, Justin. Yeah, sure, Viclet. Take care. Take care, mate. Yeah, you lurk away. I support lurkers. I support lurkers.
It is easy to get swept up in these cosmic predictions. Musk has a way of making everything sound like it's happening on Tuesday. But here's why I'm not buying it.
Elon Musk. Okay. He's just said Elon Musk has a way of making everything sound like it's happening on Tuesday. You literally said cancel your plans for tomorrow, Kirby. You literally said cancel your plans for tomorrow. How can you say Elon Musk makes it sound like everything is imminent? and you're sitting there going, cancel your plans for tomorrow. The end of the world is. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? It's Elon mustn't. No, I did not, but he definitely maybe should deserve that name. Hello, Leo. Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Someone very wise and very important once said, no one knows the day or the hour. And that means not even the astrophysics with their fancy computers. And
they're not claiming to know the day or the hour, mate. They're Elon Mutton. Okay, well, I mean, that's how I'm going to have to refer to him from now on. But look, no astrophysicist is saying, hey, we know the day and the hour that the Earth will become uninhabitable. And their models would predict different days and hours because of the different variables involved in the different simulations that they're running. Like, they're not running it, all under the same thing to get the same result. Like, nobody is doing this. Every time I pause it, this man's face makes me laugh. Every single time I pause it, this man is like, he's so unhinged. It's so weird.
Come on now, what do you think about this? Because Mars isn't exactly a paradise. It's cold, it's dusty, and the air is full of volatile gases.
Yeah, nobody is saying that we're going to colonize Mars imminently tomorrow, except maybe Musk, but he is, quite frankly, a little bit insane. And I must add, he's currently having a lover's quarrel with Trump, and it's actually hilarious just how much crap they're throwing at one another. Did somebody raid me? Did I get a raid? Does anybody know? I hadn't been looking at the actual chat. I've been looking at the Thingo chat. If somebody did raid me, I really appreciate it. I do apologize if I didn't get the message. I'll put on live chat. There we go. That's better. Did somebody raid me? Let me know if I was raided. Was it the sun? Did the sun raid me? Is that what happened? Is that what happened? I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't you, Kip? Okay. Well, I mean, could you, if you're a raider, could you please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's 6,443 kilometers to Baja Con for me. 17,245 kilometers from Western Australia. Yeah. Well, Australia's a big country, and I'm on the furthest. Like, you cannot get further away from the US than the part that I am on. So, I'm literally as far as I am as far away from the US as I can possibly be, and still be in Australia. That's what I think of the US, quite frankly. It's a Jesus raid. Okay, yeah. No, I knew it. Yeah, Hooligan for $2 Canadian says, don't throw shade, fund light, save the sun. Yes. Yeah, don't give in to these doom and gloom prophets of death in a billion years. Save the sun. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I know that the Canadian dollar is actually doing better than the Australian right now. So, because I did look up the exchange rates, because I was going, oh, can I make it to Baja Con? Will my money do better over in Canada? Can I possibly justify this in some way? No. Canadians are doing better than Australians. So, the exchange rate isn't great either. Just to rub salt in my wounds. You know what it's like. And I wonder, do I have anything to give out to you wonderful people? Do I? Membership gifting? Yeah. Okay, I'll get this over and done with. Bam! Take this, chat. You deserve it. Take this. Shut up and take my readerships. Oh, there you go. Oh, is Randing? Is Sanding got one as well? Is Sandring's got one? That's an in time person. Awesome. So that's 5 readerships going out to all the girls and boys. And we have Jason Hyatt, Grunge Thing, Michaels, Isandring Person, Peter, Guns, enjoy your emotes and other benefits. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and being contributors to the conversation. Awesome, awesome. Love it. Yeah, I forgot about them for a few days. I reminded myself, and yeah, so off they go. Hope you enjoy. But yeah, I feel like that the answer to this son thing is going to be Jesus. And I feel like it's going to be, yeah, the son. Every time I pause, the look on this guy's face is just comical, just absolutely comical. Well, I did try, Kip. I did try, mate. I think Google may hate you. I tried. I really did. Look, every time I pause the video, he looks ridiculous. I love doing videos of this guy. Every time I pause it, he just has the most comical look on his face.
So what is all of this really about? Maybe Musk genuinely wants to save humanity, or maybe, just maybe, it's part of the whole larger-than-life mythos that
Well, I think it's sort of two things. I think it is he literally, you know, he's not wrong. Anyway, I don't think he's wrong in saying, hey, being on two stable planets, is better than being on one. I don't think he's wrong. But I think that Elon Musk wants to be the guy to save humanity. And I think that's narcissism and egotism. I think that no one person is going to be the guy to save the planet. So he seems to want to colonize Mars before his life is up. Like, he wants to be the one to be the savior. He seems to have this savior complex, and that is just egotism, and it seems really it doesn't seem feasible. It just does not seem feasible. It's not a bad idea, but you've got to start looking beyond your lifetime, setting things up for long into the future, not like hurry to do it now because you want to be the savior of humanity. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just expect to do it now, because Mars, it's got a thin atmosphere. It will take possibly some lifetimes in order to change that. It seems so ridiculous to just do it now. And I think it is his egotism going, hey, I want to be the one to have colonized Mars. Well, you're not in a position to. You're just not. So yeah, it's odd. Oh wow, okay. Left-handed Jedi, thank you so much. You just want to hear my announcer voice. I know you do. I know you do. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Deviant did. Okay, well, we'll do Left-Handed Jedi first. Sends out 5 readerships. We have Cheese Chopper, Cusco, Nat. Just Nat. Okay, that's hard to work with. When it's that short, it's really hard to work with, I gotta say. Joshua Jamie, Calder, Basold. Somebody said I was doing like an MMA announcer voice. And actually, Kip, do you have them turned on, mate? Do you have them turned on? Is my question. It might seem like a weird question, but you've got to turn them on. For some reason, YouTube has accepting free memberships turned off by default. So if you don't have them turned on, definitely turn them on. If you're wondering how to do that, I can probably go and do the thing and show you how. In fact, it might be a good idea to just do a sort of you know, a tutorial. Wow, why couldn't I remember that word? A tutorial straight off the bat. Maybe. So if anyone doesn't have memberships turned on, here's how you do it. And I'll use Kip's channel. And if you want to subscribe to Tip, oh God, I'm renaming people now. If you want to subscribe to Kip, there's Kip's channel. Okay. So I'll do it on Kip's, because he was the one saying he keeps getting missed. So if you go, I'm already subscribed, but if you go to the subscribe thing here, this will come up to join the channel. You can get Metal Lords for $9.99. Awesome. Awesome. Just go up the top to the 3 dots, and then there should be something about memberships here. Interesting. Maybe you have a brand account. Maybe that's why. Give me 1 sec. I'll see if I can. Who else is around? Who else is around? Amy Newman's. Oh, I already have a membership to her. Apostate Sisters. Oh, why isn't it working? Do I not know what I'm talking about? Do I not know what I'm talking about? I know I don't. Where's your join? You're not joined? Okay. Okay. No, it used to be there. Why what? What? Okay. I'm confused now. I am confused. Son, I am confused. I am confused. It did used to be there. It did used to be there. I'm not sure where it's gone. They have moved it on me. Let me see if I can work this out, because that's confusing me. I was right the first time. Oh, if you can, Jess, that would be amazing. That would be amazing if you could. That would be absolutely amazing. Oh, yeah. Oh, you've got gift memberships? Okay. I will figure this out for next time, because I feel like it should be on by default, right? It absolutely should be on by default. Absolutely should be. I don't know why it wouldn't be, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's very strange. It's very strange. I don't know why it wouldn't be on by default. It seems wild. Seems absolutely wild. Maybe they have turned it on by default now. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, tons of people have complained about it. Anyway, all right. Well, I'll figure it out and find out why. But also, Deviant Outcast also gifted 5 readerships, because Deviant Outcast is awesome, and they go out to where are they? Stuart James, Mage Grey Wolf, Josie Bell, Gears Garage, and Adam Scott. Somebody said that I was like doing an MMA announcer's voice. I refute that. I'm actually doing a announcer from BattleBots. Okay, BattleBots is what I'm doing an announcer from, because BattleBots is kind of very similar. So yes, if BattleBots is the only thing that I really watch as far as sports concerned. So it's a BattleBots announcer. Thank you. But I'll figure out how to turn that stuff on and go back. I don't know why you would refuse a membership to a channel. Maybe it's like for, you know what I mean? The Wire gives you a membership because you're subscribed to them to see the idiocy they're doing, kind of thing, or you hate watch, Alex Jones or something. I don't know why, except for something like that it's something you really don't. Oh, thank you, your hooligan. Okay, so your hooligan's coming in with 5 readerships as well. I think people are trying to hit Kip, and Kip's being Kip's dodging is like Matrix level. It's actually insane. Where's Robin when you need her? She hits whoever she intends to, quite frankly. So your hooligan with 5 readerships for What the Beck, Crimson Air, B.S. Lewis, Farron, Salus, Aussie Gold. Enjoy your emotes and other benefits. Thank you so much, Left-Handed Jedi, Deviant Outcast, and especially Yahooligan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy, enjoy. Enjoy.
Around him. Here we have this billionaire tech who views himself as a savior, or the modern day Noah who sees that the end is coming and he begins to build the Ark. Except the Ark cost $5 billion and it fell to pieces on the launch pad back in.
Okay, so like the idea that Noah built the Ark, okay. So it's interesting because when people are like, well, how did Noah, who's described as a man of the land, build this boat kind of thing? They're like, oh, he had funding from, rich people or something like that. Like there's a whole way of excuses because 8 people can't build a ship that size, especially when they work on the land and, have no nautical experience. So they sort of say, hey, he was funded or he was rich or he had like all of this money to pay people to do it. It's like, well, what's the difference? And the Ark was never built. The Ark isn't a real story. But yeah, I do agree with the sentiment that he's sort of trying to be a modern day savior who saves everybody. Yeah, I get that. It's kind of annoying because you're sort of like, well, what you're doing is important. Just because you're not the one to actually do it and it will be some point in the future doesn't take away from the importance of what you're doing. Space exploration is important. It is. You don't need to be this savior. And I might add the budget of NASA and the budget of space, it isn't that much, all things considered. Especially if you consider the returns it may get on there. But the Ark, the weirdest thing about the Ark story for me is that 8 people managed to keep that boat running for a year. It seems ridiculous, to be honest with you, as well as take care of all of the animals. It just seems ridiculous. Like I don't, it isn't sort of a modern ship with automation and just have cargo on it. It is literally has all the problems of a large nautical vessel that is, maintenance. Taking care of leaks, taking care of all of this other, all of the problems of a large naval vessel and all of the problems of a zoo. Like 8 people. No, there's no way. And, some of those people were children, I think. It just seems ridiculous.
March. Okay, so how do we untangle all of this? Because Elon's not the first to predict doom, and he won't.
Well, I guarantee you that the Ark Encounter has more than 8 people, on its staff just for maintenance, and that's a building, not on the sea. Like I guarantee you, it's ridiculous.
Won't be the last. We've had the Y2K panic back in the year 2000. People.
Yeah, so the Y2K panic, yes, people shouldn't have panicked, right? It shouldn't have been this, oh, what are we going to do? But what they did was absolutely necessary. So if you're unaware of what the Y2K panic was, it was that Windows and Microsoft, in its infinite wisdom, only gave 2 bits for not bits, but I think 2 decimal or two places, 2 bytes for its dates, right? So basically, they went through. It was created like end of the 70s kind of thing. So I can't remember the exact date because its timekeeping goes back to that date. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but basically, it was going up from 80s to 90s, and then they realized, wait, when it hits 00, right? So when it goes to 99 and then hits 00 or doesn't, we don't know what will happen, right? Because the way that it was set up, it would go from 99, and then so what happens is when you increment a memory address at its maximum, it will usually like bitwise sort of increase the next bit onwards, right? Like, so it means that, when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the next bit over, it will increment to do 1, and then it will repeat again. So when that 0, 0 happened, it might have gone to 0, 0. It might have written on to the next bit that the next date was, the next increment. What that would do, in a lot of cases, we don't know, because it depends what was at that memory address. So there was a lot of uncertainty around it. So we had to rewrite things so they wouldn't increment or just go to 0, 0. Like, people talked about planes falling from the sky. No, absolutely not. But what might have happened is that some scheduling things wouldn't have activated, or they might have overwritten something and it would start throwing up errors. We call them exceptions. So if it changed something to increment that date and that something was related to another thing, it might throw an exception or behave unpredictably. And that is all of this thing. All banks will fail? No, absolutely not. They will have problems with dating things, but not fail. Like, that seems weird. Food supplies will be depleted. I don't know why. I don't know why that would be. Stock markets will crash? Probably not. They might have incorrect dating, but probably not. Electricity will be cut off. All of this thing is probably not what would happen. You would probably have some bugs here and there and some weird stuff being thrown up, but the end of the world, no, absolutely not. And the thing is that we took care of it. We had Y2K compliance. They fixed the code in Microsoft and updated everything to a new patch, to basically give more integers to the dates, more bytes to the dates, and that's it. That's all that happened. Like, we fixed it. It's fine. Like, that, just the media blew it completely out of proportion. And it's sensationalism. It would have been a problem. We fixed the problem. It's not a big deal. Like, this is done all the time. It's fine.
Thought the computers would turn on us and create chaos everywhere.
No, the computers weren't going to turn on us. What the hell? Like, seriously, this is so stupid.
Then came the infamous 2012 Mayan calendar hype, when folks genuinely thought that ancient Maya had penciled in humanity's final breath. Nostradamus, the 16th century mystic, has been credited with everything, even predicting the end of the world. But you know as well as I do that his writings are so vague that you could probably twist them to say that your answer...
Okay, it's really funny to hear somebody who believes in Bible prophecy to sort of say, hey, Nostradamus could have twisted this to, anything. And so I want to remind you that while Kirby, every single time I pause this man, like, when he's going through and saying, all of these people were saying the world was ending, he makes a ton of money off of his videos saying, oh, the end is nigh. If you look at his sort of, his channel, it all is this end of the world. Was an angel seen here? Could this be, the end of the world kind of thing? It's kind of like he's complaining about, he's complaining about people doing end of the world kind of thing, when he's part of the problem. He's part of the problem, right? Look, right. So this is the video that we're doing. Internet shuts down when hand appears on Christians. Like, this cave accidentally went viral. Simpsons predictions for 2025. Like, all of this kind of sensational stuff. I remember I promise you he's coming. This is really happening. He really does play up everything. The first rapture has already happened. The biblically accurate truth about uh, Enoch. They just banned church, and I expect God will send judgment. This is sort of what he does. This is what he does. I it's so wild. It's so wild. If this doesn't prove to you that Bible prophecy real, I doubt anything will. So he really does push these prophecies and this end of the world stuff, and this is what he's all about. This is what he's all about. And so it's interesting, number one, that he's sort of saying, hey, all of these people had all of these conspiracies about the world ending. My guy, you're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. And he's saying, oh, Nostradamus's prophecies could be interpreted any way you want. Yeah, so can the Bible prophecies. Like the amount of people I've heard saying that the prophecies in Isaiah, was it Isaiah, about Tyre sort of being laid low and never being inhabited. Isaiah, yeah. Warnings of judgment. So the amount of people twisting that to say, oh, they were talking about Alexander the Great, when they were basically talking directly about Nebuchadnezzar. The amount of people I've heard sort of go, oh, no, it was about Alexander the Great coming later. And, oh, that was Ezekiel? Thanks, Kip. That was Ezekiel. So the amount of people I have heard sort of, say this, because it's so vague, it can be interpreted any way. But even when they're talking about a specific instance, they still try and twist it. Yes, I agree that the prophecies of Nostradamus can be twisted to be interpreted just about any way you want, but the same is true for biblical prophecy. It can be twisted to interpret it just about any way you want. Even when something's not a prophecy, they twist it to be a prophecy. Like, for instance, the binding of Isaac, they say is a prophecy about Jesus, which is ludicrous. It's so wild. It's so wild.
Car is in trouble this week. In 2011, radio preacher Harold Camping confidently told his followers that Jesus was...
Oh, you gotta love Camping. You gotta love Camping. Harold Camping, the guy that predicted the end of the world in no less than 5 times or so, is actually hilarious because he just kept changing the date. Whenever it didn't happen, he just kept changing it. This doesn't support your end of the world predictions, Joe. Kirby, this does not support your end of the world predictions. It really shows that, there's no reason to take any of them seriously, including yours, mate. Including yours.
Returning in May. When it didn't happen, he suddenly recalculated for October. It still didn't happen. And let's not forget the Red Moon predictions. Or do you not remember last year, April 2024, when...
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that. The eclipse that was going to go across America in the shape of a cross, because another one went sort of down that way, and this one was going across, so it makes a cross, so it was the end of the world. Yeah, I remember that. I remember a whole bunch of theists confidently coming out and sort of saying, hey, it's end of the world. I wonder, just out of interest, okay. So this is the thing. Does everyone remember the eclipse? I just want to share this. Everyone was excited about the eclipse until they heard this prophecy. Does everyone remember the eclipse last year? The solar eclipse. It's talking about biblical prophecy and what is the meaning of this eclipse. Is Jesus going to return? Is it the second coming? Here's the thing. You can't say this about all of these prophecies and have done videos on them yourself. And I got to admit that, so he is very sneaky. He is very sneaky because he'll say, oh, this could be this prophecy and the coming of the end of the world. Is this the end of the world? It could be. and sort of ratchet up that fear and say, well, I don't know for sure. And then he's using people talking about this as evidence of how these things can be wrong. He's like the worst. He's like the worst. Like, you can't do videos on the eclipse being the end of the world and then say, hey, people were wrong about this eclipse thing. Come on, dude. Seriously?
There was a lot of noise on the internet because we were having a solar eclipse.
It was you. The phone call is coming from inside the house. It was you. There was a lot of talk on the internet. You were the one talking. It's so wild. I don't, like, seriously, my guy. Thanks, John. Take care, my friend. Take care, buddy. This is so wild. So wild.
And everyone was saying this could usher in the end of the world.
You were saying that. I think I did a video on this, like a fundamentalist fails on Kirby saying it was could be the end of the world, and it's not the end of the world. People have been saying that for literally millennia, that it's the end of the world, and it's never been like, come on. I feel like, that's that. What's that? Do you ever remember that Spider-Man meme? That's what I feel like it is. That's what I feel like it is. Yeah. Yeah, this is basically what we're seeing right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy that this guy is going, people on the internet were talking about the eclipse being the end of the world, when you literally have a video on your channel of the eclipse possibly being the end of the world. For fuck's sake. Why? Why is this my life? Jester for $5. Thank you so much, Jester. Matthew 5:15 is actually meant to be a prophecy telling us why Mark's golden dome shouldn't be covered by hair. And now I got to look that up. You can't make a comment like that and I not look that up. NIV okay? NIV should be fine. Okay. That is neither. Whoops. Ads have attacked me. Help. I need help. Matthew 5:15. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. I feel like this is reminiscent of that Monty Python's like scene where he sits there and goes, people will lose things and not realize the importance of the things they have lost until they go to look for them. You know what I mean? This is kind of a deepity, right? It's kind of a deepity. What the hell is this? Oh, is this the Sermon on the Mount? It is a Sermon on the Mount. Okay, cool. Blessed are the meek, they inherit the earth. First righteous, they'll be filled. Blessed are the merciful, pure in heart. Blessed are the peacemakers. Oh yeah, when I think Christians, I really think peacemakers for sure. Salt and light, you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. In the same way, let your light shine before others so they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. It's just a bit of a deepity there, I think. A bit of a deepity there.
And then there was even that viral TikTok time traveler who said that the space guys would invade last year. And yet after all of these predictions, here we are.
And he references one of his own videos because he probably did a, hey, could this guy be right? Should you be scared? You better find Jesus now. Because that's what he always does. The answer to everything is always Jesus. If someone goes on Joe Rogan and says, hey, something's going to happen, it's always Jesus. You've got to find Jesus before this happens. It is the fear and hope that he preys on, like all good con artists do. Are you afraid that the aliens are going to come and wipe you off the planet? We better find Jesus now. Are you afraid that, that aliens are going to come down. Well, you better find Jesus. Is the world going to be destroyed in nuclear warfare? Well, you better find Jesus. Using that fear and then giving a solution that is not a solution to the problem. It's just an out. It's just a here's how to run away and make yourself feel better. Pretty horrible. Left-handed Jedi for $5 says, all I did was say this fish was good enough for Jehovah. He said it again. Look, you're not making things better for yourself. You're only making things worse for yourself. How could it be worse? Like, I love that film. I really love that film. I do. Thank you, Jedi. I appreciate it. But yeah, so if everyone could stone left-handed Jedi for saying the name of the Lord, I would appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. Hang on a sec. Let me hang on. He who is without sin cast the first stone. Okay. So that would be me. There you go. Oh, actually, it's Deviant. Wow, Deviant's like got all the stone. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Let everyone. What? Why are you throwing tombstones? Okay, well that's a new one, but sure, why not? Why not? Why not?
Still scrolling, still sipping coffee.
Excuse me. Every time I pause at this man, look, you're English. You should be drinking tea. You are doing it wrong. You are doing it so wrong. I have issues with this. Stop. You stop. You should be drinking tea. How dare you?
And very much not living on Mars. Now, come on guys, talk to me. Deep down, we all know this world will not last forever. Whether you believe in God or not, there is a built-in sense that history is heading somewhere. And yet, we never seem to get the timing right, do we? Well, why is that? Well,
we never seem to get the timing right. What? Like people make predictions that don't come true. Sure. Wow. I don't know. It's wild. Like, yeah, we make predictions. We're wrong about them. Okay. I don't
think it's this. Jesus warned us, no one knows the day or the hour.
No, that isn't because Jesus says it. It's because people make predictions and they're wrong. Like that's the thing. Like that was true. Like there were predictions made about things that didn't come true. Please refer to my earlier comment about the destruction of the city of Tyre. Before Jesus was even around. It wasn't because Jesus said that. It was because people have been wrong about stuff since the beginning of time. Like, don't. I don't. It's wild. It's wild.
Not even billionaires with their spaceship. They don't know when the world will end. But here's the crunch. While we might laugh at these insane predictions and shake our head at these false prophecies, they all point to something very real.
Do they? Do they? I don't know if they do. All of these things, they don't point at something real, except like Y2K, it pointed at a real bug within a computer system. It's just it wasn't going to be the end of the world. It's weird.
Humanity is desperate for salvation.
So, and here's where, okay, so this is where I really go, well, humans are aware of their own mortality, right? That we are aware that we will end. Or, this physical conception or this physical being of us will end at some point. We're aware of that. I don't know if any other animals are aware. Possibly some of them, some of the more intelligent ones, possibly elephants are aware of mortality. It is something that I wanted to look. So they, elephants definitely understand death and loss. They do understand that, but do they understand that they will die, like a conceptual understanding that they will go the same way, right? Chimpanzees, elephants, even dogs, right, that sort of pine at their owner's grave. They do understand what has happened, that person is no longer there and they won't be coming back. But I don't know if any other animals understand the concept that they too will end. It's very hard to tell, right? Jester for $2 throws a electric guitar, throws a Death Star at left-handed Jedi. It's totally a stone. That's no moon. It's a small moon. Just saying that's no moon. But yeah, do any other animals understand that? Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to tell. Dolphins are very intelligent. They understand that they're going to pass away and their physical form is going to die. I don't know. It's almost impossible to tell, but we do. We understand that one day we won't be here. And I'm sort of leaving that open-ended, saying, well, that includes people who are religious that thinks they'll live forever, but they realize they won't be here on this earth. Like they will go on to something else. Even they believe that. I'm quite fine with the idea that one day I won't exist. It's kind of comforting in a way that I'm not going to be around for infinity. That one day the struggle of life will end, and that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. A lot of people don't yeah, no, I get you. Like, so in the skit he's like they're like this is Life of Brian. In the skit, there's no women allowed at the stonings, so they're all wearing fake beards, and basically going, it was him, and then like he goes, is there any women here? And there's like, it was her, it was him. Like, yeah, that was out of the movie. I get you. It's just, for a second I thought that's a very weird question, but yes, it's just a movie quote. Everyone relax. Everyone relax. I do remember that movie. It was funny. Yeah, animals do mourn the dead, but do they realize that will apply to them as well? Right? It's kind of that question. How much do animals understand about their own existence? Like, not only that they are a individual, which we know that elephants and chimpanzees and other very sort of smart animals do, but do they understand that they will be in the same position that the people that they're mourning, or the animals that they're mourning are? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Some may do. We can't really tell because we can't really ask them. But my point is that humans do, and we kind of, that idea of how do we conquer the greatest enemy of death is something that has been on our minds for a long, long time. How do we overcome the greatest enemy, which is, mortality, has been on our minds for forever. So I don't know about desperate for salvation, but it's really, we seem to be one of the few that realize that our lives are temporary. Who seem to, and that's, I want to highlight seem to, because animals may do as well. I don't know.
We know something's wrong. We all know that time is ticking, and we'll do anything to escape it. We'll build bunkers.
I don't know if we'll do anything to escape it. I don't think so. There has been plenty of people who have gone to wars to protect their country that don't believe in an afterlife, that will lay down their lives in order for something greater. Their family, their country, their friends, their, what they believe in. And that's interesting, because it says that even though we're an individual and we will try to survive, there are obligations to, or rather there are things that we view as important enough to sacrifice that for, in order so that others can go on to survive. That is a definite thing. So I'm not sure that's, some people build bunkers, a lot of people don't. Like, yeah, I get some people build bunkers. Some people don't.
colonize Mars, will invent cryogenic freezers or AI utopias. Elon Musk calls Mars life insurance, and fair enough, it's very ambitious of him. But if history shows us anything, it's that we're very good at making a mess. And
yeah, it's too ambitious of him. It's too ambitious. Like, you know, it won't. Colonization of Mars is a really good idea that will not happen in our lifetimes. You know, it definitely won't happen in our lifetimes. But, you know, we can set the stages for later generations to pick up that torch and see how far they can carry it. You know, but we've got to preserve our own world first and foremost, because if we don't make it to that point, then it's not life. And as I said, if we destroy our own planet trying to get Mars established, then it's not life insurance, because you've only still got one planet, a worse one. You know, if Earth is rendered unsustainable and uninhabitable because you're trying to conquer Mars, that's kind of pointless.
very bad at saving ourselves. That's where the gospel steps in.
I agree. Humans can be very self-destructive. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But that's not where the gospel steps in. Like, that's just something that is true. It's easier to make a mess than it is to clean it up. Yeah, I've got a presidency that can highlight that very, very well right now, because even if Trump leaves tomorrow, the mess that he has left, and the mess he left last time. This is why I don't understand. I'm really sorry to all of the US people, but I don't understand. He left a complete disaster last time, and it took ages to clean it up. And, you know, this time he's going to leave a bigger mess. Why? Why is he there? Why did you get him back in when he left an absolute debacle mess the last time? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Not as a plan to escape Earth, but as a promise to redeem it. See, you do realize that Jesus...
A promise to redeem it. I don't know about that one, Chief. I think that sort of, you know, the Earth is either going to be destroyed or there's going to be another kingdom created. It's all very sort of interpretive what's going to happen. Every time I pause this man, it makes me laugh. It really does. Every single time. Every single time. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, is the Earth going to survive in the Christian doctrine? Is it going to be heaven on Earth? Is it going to be hell on Earth? I'm not 100% sure. Will the Earth survive? This is where Kip can probably help. The Armageddon. Yeah, so sort of just a cursor, and I'm just reading the AI to be completely transparent. In religious contexts, Armageddon refers to a final battle. The Earth may or may not survive depending on the theology. So, you know, depending on his theology, I don't know. Maybe he thinks the Earth will survive. I don't know. But like saying, hey, the Earth, you know, this will preserve the Earth, I don't think it will. Or at least, you know, it's not going to alleviate the end of the world as we know it. Because even if you think the Earth is going to survive, it definitely is the end of days, the end of time as we know it, and there will be something else, kind of thing. Like, I don't know why he would sort of say, hey, but this is where the Gospels step in and you know, revelations that the Armageddon will prevent. No, it won't prevent anything. It's supposed to be a war that will destroy everything that we know, at least. And even if the Earth survives, it's not going to be the same as it was before.
Didn't float down here just to give us a golden ticket to another planet. He entered into our broken world and he walked amongst us. He loved this Earth. He loved the creation because his very hands made this creation. But more than that, he loved the people in this creation because they himself were made by his very hands.
He didn't love the money changers. I'll tell you that right now. He was flipping tables and whipping people. He didn't love the money changers. Then again, who does, really? Let's face it.
And because he loved us, his creation, so much, he was willing to go and die upon a cross, to sacrifice himself in our place. For all the times we have made a mess, for all the wrongdoing we've done, the Bible calls it sin, all of that rottenness was put on Jesus Christ. It was laid on him, and there he died in our place. The most famous verse in the Bible says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting."
And yeah, and that's the problem, right? That it isn't for whoever does the right thing, or whoever follows in his footsteps, or whoever preserves that worth being preserving, or whoever works for the betterment of people around you, whoever strives to save, to increase the well-being of people. That's not what it says. It says whoever believes in him, right? That's all you have to have. So here's the problem. You can believe in him and pump toxic chemicals out into the world, and, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. You can have a 5 private jets that, make you, thousands a day, and believe in Jesus, and you're fine. You're fine. But the problem comes that we have this very precious gem of a world that we're realizing we affect a lot with what we do as a species. Just like in prior ages, it may have been plants that caused a huge effect on it. So, this is the problem. It doesn't actually tell you to preserve the world. In fact, it has the world being destroyed is inevitable, but believe in Jesus and it will be fine. It makes no obligation to avoid that outcome, right? It doesn't say, hey, try to prevent Armageddon as much as possible. Try to avoid this thing. It says it will happen. Just believe in Jesus while it's happening. It's not a good plan for the earth at all. And there's no reason to believe it.
Live. That's John 3:16, if you want to read it for yourself. But in other words, God loved this world, that he didn't leave it to itself, but he sent his son, Jesus, to die there so that we won't perish. Yes, this body one day will go into the ground, but the Lord Jesus Christ can redeem it, because the one who died on the cross, paying the price for my sin with his very blood, is also the same God who went into that tomb and rose from the dead and gives hope to every man that will trust in him. A hope that he can conquer the grave, and he can conquer your grave.
Okay, so remember when I said earlier that the mark of every grifter is the fear and hope? Now, we've had the fear section. This world will definitely end. Using the sun in 5 billion years expanding is a bit of a weird fear thing, but he's basically trying to tie that into, we all know the world's going to end. It's underlying. It's why do we believe this? Because it's always true. And then tying it into making people afraid, and then, well, here is the hope. Here is, even if the world ends, you don't have to be wiped out with it. You're going to live forever. All you got to do is believe in Jesus and follow Christianity. Buy my DVDs. That's basically what he's doing. It is that fear and hope. And I don't, I don't have a problem with sort of, we've got this problem and fear and hope necessarily, but if you're providing false hope, if what you're saying is not true, then there's a problem. And I would rather have a hope that we can fix it by ourselves instead of praying to Kirby's imaginary friend, because prayer doesn't seem to work to do anything. Let me give you an example of some of the problems that we've had that have been massive problems. For instance, the hole in the ozone layer is a perfect one, right? What we did is we were going, okay, there seems to be an increasing amount of UV light coming down to Earth, especially in, this certain area, and that was Australia. We researched and tried to find out what was happening, right? We did scientific research. We found out that the ozone layer, the layer of ozone that basically prevents UV ultraviolet radiation from coming in, was thinning, and we didn't know why. Right? So we did experiments and scientific research. People didn't pray to clear it up. People didn't go, oh, well, God can solve it. No, we found out what caused it, and it was mostly chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, that were in everything that was spray. Like it was in deodorant, it was in hairspray, it was in all kinds of stuff. And it absolutely annihilated ozone in our atmosphere. So we banned it. We outright banned it. We fixed it. God was not involved anywhere in that. It wasn't involved. God didn't come down and go, hey, you've got to stop using deodorant. No, our scientists did that. And that's important to understand, that one of these methodologies works and the one that Kirby's saying doesn't. Just praying doesn't work. Resurrect the sun. Yes. Oh, hi, Maya. It's good to see you. What about next quarter's profits? Yeah, and that does concern me. The sun expanding doesn't concern me. We've built a system where we prioritize profit over people. That does concern me, right? That's a cause for concern. It's a concern. The sun is it doesn't even make my top 500 of things to be concerned about, except for obviously if you're talking about skin cancer, then yeah, the sun is a bit concerning, but yeah.
He is the one we can trust in. He is the only Messiah we put our faith in. He's the only Savior of Earth. All the rest of us, the best that we can do. And let's be honest, Elon Musk has achieved a lot more than any human being on Earth, perhaps. But there is one human being, the God-man Jesus Christ. He's miles ahead of
the God-man, the man bear pig, Elon Musk. Look, Elon Musk, I don't see him as achieving that much, right? I think that he has been, he's had a few good ideas. He's, a lot of it is people doing it on his behalf. I don't see him as any kind of savior. I think that he sees himself like that. I think that his idea that, hey, maybe we can colonize another planet at some point is a good one, but it's not like that was his original idea. It's not like scientists hadn't thought of that before. It's just he's the one that's trying to do it right now, which is quite honestly pretty dumb. And most experts sort of say, yeah, he's not, like, this is not going to happen in our lifetime. Like, come on now. So we really should be focused on setting the world up in such a way that we can possibly do that in the future. And sort of, this system that we're in of capitalism, probably, I would proffer it isn't the best way to do that. Because if there's no profits involved, no one's going to actually do it. And that's a problem. But there might be profits involved. So, yeah, I don't think Elon Musk is any kind of savior, but I certainly don't think Jesus is any kind of savior. We have had monumental problems in the past, and there hasn't been a Jesus to come and help us. Like this whole thing about, it gives people hope. Maybe it does, but maybe it's a false hope. And if it's a false hope, then it's not hope at all. It's a false hope. And that's bad. That is really bad.
Elon. If Elon can send those space rockets into space and we think that's high, the Lord Jesus Christ is even higher than that.
Oh, look, I think you're higher than that, Kirby. I think you are high, mate. I mean, is Elon Musk high? I think so. Like, there has been rumors of him, and there are rumors, and this is my opinion, I'm not stating this as fact, but there has been rumors of him using substance to, work and things. I suspect that may be true because of the behavior that he's exhibiting. He seems very unstable at the moment. So who knows? But anyway, like, you've got to consider that a lot of our problems, like, for instance, Jesus apparently cured a leper. Well, fantastic. Good on Jesus. The better question is, well, why didn't he cure all leprosy? Because now that we have discovered penicillin and sort of improved standards of care, leprosy has almost vanished from our planet because we have sort of hygiene, penicillin to stop bacteria. We have things to basically combat it and overcome it, and it's all but vanished. So why couldn't Jesus have cured all leprosy for people? If we can do it, right? If we simply by technological progress can do it, why can't Jesus do it? It seems strange. It seems strange. Well, it doesn't cure leprosy, but it fights against it. But it's mostly our hygiene practices that has done it. I don't think leprosy is a virus. I thought it was a bacteria. I really thought it was a bacteria. So this is just the AI overview, but leprosy is curable through multi-drug therapy, which involves taking a combination of antibiotics, 2 to 3, including rifampicin, dapsone, and clofazimine for a duration of 6 months to 2 years, depending on the type. Yeah, so it's bacteria. So it sort of doesn't cure it. It basically, but it can help fight against it. It's sort of if you've got full blown leprosy, but what these treatments will do, it will sort of it will help before it actually gets a foothold. So I guess I shouldn't say penicillin specifically. I should just say modern antibiotics can basically, treat leprosy. So we've all but eliminated it. Like, I don't think there's been very many cases, like 1 or 2 within first world countries in the last decade or so. Yeah, I think I've read that. Wasn't it like a guy with a like gold ring, and when he went into this alternative world, he didn't have leprosy, and his gold ring was magical for no reason in particular. Bit of a weird one, but yeah, what I'm saying is, and I guess my point still stands. That if modern treatments can eliminate leprosy, I don't know why Jesus couldn't do the same, because he's basically saying, hey, people have technology. Jesus is way higher. He's capable of more. Okay, then why wouldn't he cure leprosy, or at least eliminate it like we have? Because if we can do it, why couldn't he? Instead, he's touching people and doing it one at a time and seems unable to wipe it from the earth. It's very strange. And if Jesus can't, God certainly can, right? Why not? I don't understand.
He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and He alone is the one who could save us. He alone is the only one who can rescue us from our fallen state, take us from a life of sin.
Jester for $5. In the beginning, God took a shortcut and used an AI program to create everything, and because he never learned a lick of programming, everything's fucked. Yeah, no, I get you. Like, this is sort of the deist idea. Yeah, I get you. That God just started it all rolling, and then he basically hands off, done, it goes how it goes. But in that case, why pray to him? Like, that's the whole point. That's the weird thing about it. And I think George Carlin pointed it out. If God has a plan of how and knows how everything is going, right, then your prayer has to align with that in order to come true. If he changes that plan because you pled with him to take away your aunt's cataracts, like, if you did that, what does that do to the plan? Like, how does he then know the future? And if he knows that you already prayed to have the cataracts taken away, why give them in the first place? It doesn't make a lot of sense. It seems really weird. And if that was always going to happen, why pray? It seems weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, Jester. Maybe it does to you. Maybe it is the AI. Maybe the AI takes prayers. Maybe it's just God's secretary. I think that was another George Carlin bit. Maybe it's like, his underling. It's a Friday night. God's gone home early, and it's just his underlings, incompetent underlings, doing it. That screw things up all the time. On a Friday, they've checked out for the day. They don't really care, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just gross incompetence. Maybe. I don't know. It's wild, though. It is wild.
And give us his righteousness, a perfect track record, and bring us out of our graves rejoicing to spend all of eternity with him. I can't help but wonder.
A perfect track record. God fucked up so badly that he had to get a flood to wipe out all of his creation because he screwed up that badly. And you're like, oh, he's got a perfect track record. Even God wouldn't agree. Like, he regretted having to send the flood. He basically expressed some sort of regret for having fucked up that badly. He had to send a flood. Like, where is this track record perfect? Wow. Oh, leprosy, it gets caught and treated and around the dumped in colonies to die. California, mainly LA, gets 1 case a week. Really? Really? That must be incredibly scary. It's in Australia. In developed countries like Australia, leopard is mostly seen in Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people from northern. Okay, gotcha. In Australia, leprosy is rare. 5 to 13 cases reported annually. Okay. What's that compared to in the US? 150 to 255 cases reported annually. Interesting. Leprosy is easily treated with antibiotics. Okay, that's interesting. So it's just Australia where it's so uncommon. LA gets at least 1 case a week. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if it's 150 to 255 a year, that could be true. Yeah. But Australia, it certainly isn't. It's very rare. Like 5 to 13 cases a year. That's almost nothing. Okay. I gotcha. Well, I'm learning new stuff. That's awesome. Thanks, you.
Wonder what goes through your mind when I tell you that Jesus Christ didn't come into this world to abandon creation, but to restore it. Revelation doesn't end with the earth getting destroyed. It ends.
Well, that depends on your theology, really, doesn't it? It doesn't really say whether the earth is around afterwards, right? It doesn't really say. So it depends on whether you believe the earth is going to be kept or not. Like, he could be wrong and the earth could be destroyed and everyone's raptured to heaven. That's just his theology. Others disagree. They have arguments over this, so we don't know. And for a guy saying earlier, well, prophecies in Nostradamus are so vague, it's like, yours are vague too, my guy. 1 to 12 per year might be a healthcare system thing. Okay, maybe. Armadillos are a vector. Yeah, maybe both Australia and Canada don't have that many armadillos. Maybe. I'm just putting that out there. I seem to recall seeing very little armadillos around here.
With a new heaven and a new earth. No more death, no more pain, no more looking over our shoulder thinking we're going to fear this and we're going to fear that. It's just.
You're the one stoking those fears, Kirby. You're the one saying fear this and fear that. You're the one doing the videos on the fear. And then you're saying, oh, yeah, but if you believe in Jesus, you'll no longer have this fear. No more looking over your shoulder. No more worrying about what's going to happen. Wow, okay. Grifter's got a grift, but seriously, this is what gets me about Kirby. He's so ridiculous, but at the same time, it is kind of insidious and horrible what he's doing. It really is. because he's the one stoking that fear. It does remind me of gun companies that are sort of like, oh, but there's so many people around with guns, you've got to have a gun. If people, you're stoking fear in order to sell a product, and this guy is absolutely no different. Absolutely no different.
Everlasting peace forever. So no, we don't need to panic. We don't need to prep, and we don't need to build rockets. There is already a rescue plan, and it doesn't involve a launch pad. It's open to anyone. And guys, the tickets have already been paid, not with money, but with the very blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's why the gospel is called good news, because the Lord already does offer us a kind of insurance that no planet can ever provide. This is not an escape from the end, but it's a hope beyond it. And I want to know, if you're not a Christian, if you clicked...
It's not an escape from the end, it's a hope beyond it. It's so ridiculous. It's like, yeah, we have all of these problems, just believe in Jesus and you can stop worrying about it. The only reason they're worrying about it is because people like Kirby, that they're the ones to stoke the fear in the first place. Nearly all of his content is this eclipse, this sort of hand of Christ in this photo. Does this war mean Revelations is coming true? It's all coming from these people. What we know right now, scientifically, is that we're in pretty stable. We do have some problems like climate change, like nuclear weapons, like biological organisms like viruses and bacteria. There's these problems, medical problems, but we can't just ignore them and go, well, I'm going to believe in Jesus. And I guess my major concern is if people go, well, the how to solve all of these problems, like medical issues, like bacteria becoming resistant to antibiotics, for instance. That's a real problem, right? But we don't have to be afraid of it because we develop new technology. At the moment, there's some workarounds that could possibly have really good outcomes for us. Like, for instance, using bacteriophages. They're a type of I think they're a type of virus that attacks bacteria specifically. And that may be something to do in the future. We don't trust it at the moment. But it is something that could possibly work, right? We do have technology providing solutions, as we have already done. Yeah, it is a virus that infects and replicates within bacteria specifically. I guess a problem would be to make it only attack specific bacteria and not the bacteria that we need. Like your good bacteria in your stomach flora kind of thing, like your stomach biome. But this is what we're working with. We have ways around this. We have technology progressing. To ignore that and just go, well, just believe in Jesus. Believing in Jesus is not going to provide solutions to antibiotic resistant bacteria, right? Like, it's not going to. We need to actually do things that are demonstrably working to improve the quality of people's lives, not just believe it's all going to end one day and then don't worry about the future because of it. No, it's senseless. It's absolutely it is so it's such a bad idea to do. Right, there's steps that we can take, but sort of just pray, hopes and prayers is not one of them. Seriously.
On here to learn about Elon Musk, and you are now interested in who this man is, Jesus Christ. What would I say to you? I'd say trust in him right now. Call on his name right now to save you, and the God who hears all things will save you instantly. And get in his word, read the Gospels, learn about this wonderful Savior,
Really? As long as you believe, then he'll save you. Really? Shouldn't he be saving the people that worked hardest to try and help people? Shouldn't he be saving the people that, I don't know, tried to help the planet? No, no, no. Just you can be a piece of crap. You just have to believe in him. Yeah, there's a problem here, right?
About the only Messiah there is, the only one who truly can save us, the only one who can truly offer hope beyond this earth, the only one who will redeem this earth and come back and live on this earth for 1,000 years, where he will reign as the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. Hey, just to say, if you didn't realise already, I am a born-again Christian, and I actually...
Oh, no, I didn't realize. I didn't realize, Kirby. Every time I pause this man, he looks ridiculous. No, I didn't realize, Kirby. I never got that you're a Christian. It never occurred to me over this entire video. I think the worst thing about this is basically he started off, and don't forget where he started. He started saying all of these people keep crying doomsday, right? Like this is, I guess he started off with saying, hey, the sun's going to envelop the earth in 1 billion years, right? Like, that's where he started. And then he went on to all of these people, they keep calling doomsday, when literally this guy's channel is filled wall to wall with doomsday prophecy, is the world ending crap. And to be fair on him, it is really clickbaity. It is like, is the world ending? And at the end, he'll say, oh, well, we're not sure, but it could be. But at the same time, he still is the one stoking that fear. Like, oh, this was all over the internet. Yeah, on your channel, mate. On your channel. So he's really stoking fear and then basically saying, hey, this is the answer. It's the con as old as time. Hope, fear, make them afraid, make them really afraid, and then offer them your product as hope, even though there's no reason to believe that it will work. There's no reason.
I made a decision not to put adverts in front of my videos a very long time ago, just because personally I don't want any unhelpful adverts to be a stumbling block for my viewers, and also because I want to...
Yeah, and because your product is Christianity. That's your product. That is your product. You don't want people to convert and then go and, do their own thing, just continue on their lives. No, you want them to come to church and everything. You need them to come and support you. Oof.
Live by faith. That basically means I trust God that he will provide an income for me.
Is God providing an income for you? Really? Really? Is your paycheck signed by God? I've got a funny feeling it's signed by Google. I've got a maybe that is what God is on this platform. Maybe Google is God on YouTube. Maybe. I somehow doubt it. I doubt it. I don't know why. I have doubts. I think that people giving you money is where you get your income from. That is where you get your income from.
And my family, and also for our video editors that we pay each week. And so far, God has organically raised up prayer partners to help us for the last 9 years. At times, things have been tight, but the Lord has always provided. And I just need to make that clear because I have read some false comments about my ministry recently, and I know there are many people who come and watch our videos for the first time and they know nothing about what we do. So I will be talking about that a little bit more. But if you do find this ministry helpful, please do subscribe. Oh, and one more thing. If you haven't already seen Joe Rogan's recent guest who made some even bigger claims than Elon Musk, you better watch this so you don't miss out.
Yeah, I got to admit he's very good on his YouTube algorithm sales pitch, everything that he's doing. Look, everybody, I don't put ads at the start of my videos either. Just because I don't have anybody to, would I do ads at the start of my video? I don't know. I don't think I would do ads for stuff that I don't believe in. So I definitely wouldn't do VPN ads because I don't think they're particularly useful in what they do. Would I do Raid Shadow Legends? Maybe. I have played that game. It wasn't bad. It was, your general, sort of grindy mobile game, which, look, grindy games, I have an opinion on that. I think that grindy games are fine as long as you enjoy the gameplay loop. If you're only playing it to get the resources or get the things, I think it's exploitative. Oh, have a good dinner, Kip. Have a good dinner, mate. Yeah, I might. I don't know. If someone offered me something, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it depends what it is, really. I don't think I would be like doing an ad for something that I don't believe in and don't like. I don't get prepackaged meals. What other things do I see on YouTube? But anyway, here's a guy with 2.5 million YouTube subscribers sort of saying, hey, I don't do ads. And that somehow alleviates him from any, oh, it's been really tight with 2.5 million subscribers. I don't think it's been that tight. I don't think it's been that tight. I think it, with donations, with you've got a ministry as well. So he has people that he preaches to that donate, right? I don't think I think that maybe when his channel started, it was a bit tight. Like I get that. I totally get it. But I don't think it is like that anymore. I think he is doing quite well. And just sort of saying, hey, I don't put ads at the start because, I want you to find the Lord. And I think he's sincere, but at the same time, his product is his ministry, his Christianity. That is his product. I've noticed a lot of these times when people have these alternative income streams that they don't put ads on, like, when the Christians are sort of saying, hey, we can teach you to evangelize kind of thing. They will ad for that and nothing else, because they have something else bringing income. So, I think at 2.5 million sort of crying, well, we don't do ads, think of me really well. I'm not sure I can get on board with that. I'm not sure I can, because at that point you probably have enough to run your business, but who knows? It's more that he has a ministry as well that takes donations under a religious basis. That will just take donations in a religious sense, like religious donations. There's no atheist doing that. There's non-profits that are doing that are atheist organizations, sure, but we don't have our own ministries, right? We don't have like the Mark Reed ministry that will take your donations to further the Mark Reed cause or the this cause kind of thing. All we've got is atheist organizations that are not, they're non-profit, they're not religious ministries, they're non-profit, so they're not run by any one individual, they are collectivist. Nobody owns them as such, they're non-profit organizations. So it's kind of hard to see somebody with that amount of following, that amount of resources, and their own ministry that sort of takes all of these donations and sort of go, well, poor us. Like, seriously? I'm not sure I can get on board with that, mate. But Kirby's one that I always like doing his videos. I always like doing his videos because he's kind of ridiculous. He's kind of really, really ridiculous. At the same time, I think he is actually telling the truth and being genuine to himself. But part of that is really horrifying. And here's why. It's because somebody like him, who seems like a guy who wants to help and wants to make things good and wants to help people, he ends up sort of saying, hey, we have all these problems. This could cause a existential disaster. Scientists are now saying this, but don't worry about it. Don't address it. Just pray to Jesus. And that's a problem because, if we had the ozone problem and we just ignored the scientists, didn't worry about it and prayed to Jesus, we would be in such a worse situation now, especially my country, Australia. We have the UV index here is insane. It's insane. It would be so bad. You probably couldn't, go outside for any length of time without sunscreen on, which to be honest with you, out here in Australia, if you're not wearing sunscreen, if you're in the sun for an extended period of time, you're out of your mind. Like seriously, like you need sun cream. If you're white, of course. But even I mean, I've met black people and they've said, "Hey, the sun absolutely beats down on you in Australia." Yeah, yeah, it does. I knew a black girl that got like sunburned, and she's like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's really bad here. The UV index is high." But we didn't solve that problem. We did not solve that problem by praying to Jesus, right? And that's my problem with people like Kirby. They point out all of these, and let's face it, some of their what they're pointing out could be the end of the world is bullshit. It just is bullshit. This eclipse, I remember doing something on it, and it is so silly. It's so silly. It was not the end of the world. Absolutely was not. But he points out all of these problems and that the world could have existential problems. Climate change is the one that we're facing right now. But just sort of saying, hey, don't just right now call out to Jesus and that will fix the problem. That's the issue, right? That's where it's at. And that's my problem with this kind of stuff. That instead of saying, how do we actually, make this problem either we address it, or we try as much as possible to get, put the next generation in a place where they can address it and combat it in an ongoing fashion. The religious people will pray to Jesus, everything will be okay. That's not a solution. And if you're wrong, we are selling out our future generations for your religious belief. I don't think that's acceptable. I don't think that's acceptable. That we basically condemn future generations because we believe that there's a mystical man out there somewhere that's going to save us. I don't think that's acceptable. Right? That's my problem with it. If you want to say, hey, we've got to do as much as much as possible to fix this problem, and Jesus is there, great. Okay, I'm on board. That's fine. You believe in God, you want to do something about the problem, that's fine. But people like Kirby are saying, just don't worry about it, pray to Jesus. That's the problem here. That we don't listen to the scientists. We don't listen to these people. We basically go, hey, just pray to Jesus, you'll feel better. But that doesn't fix the problem. That doesn't fix the problem. So yeah, I have a very dim view of Kirby, even though I do like doing his videos because he's just ridiculous. Like for him to sit there and go, oh, people were saying this was the end of the world. That was you. You were saying that. And I mean, he's doing it in a very sort of clickbaity way. Or could this be the end of the world? That's still you doing it. So, I mean, it's just a joke. I don't know why. It makes me laugh. And it makes me laugh every time I pause it. And he has the most ridiculous expression on his face. It's hilarious. I mean, I was talking with Jess and I probably do the same. I probably have these weird looks on my face when I'm paused as well. But I don't know. Something about him is just hilarious. But yeah, so that's Kirby finding out how fusion in the sun works and trying to get people scared that the Earth will burn because of Elon Musk. And I wonder, is Elon Musk still fighting with Trump? Because he's just fighting with Trump at the moment. It's actually hilarious. I don't know if anyone's done any videos on it now in our neck of the woods, but it's actually hilarious that they're just sort of launching names. I kind of expect at any point Trump's going to be banned off X, and maybe Elon Musk will be deported. Like ICE will bust into his house and deport. Oh, Elon posted an Epstein video of Trump. Well, I mean they've been around, right? Like they've been hanging out at parties and stuff. Elon posts Where's this video? We'll check it out, peeps. Hang tough. We'll check it out. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got it. I think I got it. Where's my thing? Yeah, so Elon Musk. Where is it? There we go. So yeah, so this is Elon Musk on X. I'll just zoom in a bit. So um he retweeted, re-exed. I don't know what the frigging term is anymore. He retweeted. Fuck it. I'm just going to use the previous terms. I don't care. He just retweeted this video kind of thing, which is Natalie Dashlin. I don't know who this is. In 1992, Trump party
of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president said,
yeah, I don't know. I don't, that has been out for a while now, I think. I mean, that's not new or anything. Like, Trump partying with Epstein is not new. It I don't, didn't everybody know this before Trump was sort of elected? Like, it was pretty widespread. It was just sort of the MAGA people were like, "Oh yeah, we know that he partied with Epstein. That doesn't mean anything." It's like, well, if Biden was partying with Epstein, would that mean nothing as well? No, that would have been the end. That would have been absolutely disgusting and horrible. But Trump partying with Epstein and pointing out women is not, to them, it's just fine. I don't know why. It's wild. I have no idea why. Yeah, and I know Elon is claiming he's in the Epstein files, and I don't know. It's very strange. In my opinion, he probably is, but we knew that already, and we knew that he'd been found liable in a civil court case for for sexual assault or rape of somebody. We know this already, that he is a sexual predator. We know this already. Like, he was found liable for that in a civil case. Obviously, that's not a criminal case, but he was found. So the standards of evidence are different for criminal and civil trials. So Criminal, it's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt. The civil is it's got to be a preponderance of the evidence. So a preponderance of the evidence said that he did that. So I don't know why that would be surprising to anybody. I really don't. It's not surprising. It seems like he is the type of person to do that. I don't know. I don't find it surprising in the slightest. And I don't find it surprising that Elon is. I don't find it surprising that Elon is doing this, and that Trump basically stabbed Elon in the back by taking away all of his electric vehicle subsidies and all of his benefits with the government. I don't find that surprising at all. Like, Trump betrays everybody he gets into business with. He's got no compunction to if it's in his best interest to completely betray those that he says are his friends. He's got absolutely no scruples about that at all. I don't know why anyone would be surprised that he would sort of go back and take away all of Elon's benefits, even though he gave a ridiculous amount to his campaign. And I mean, it's horrible that he can have Elon fund his campaign to the tune of, what was it? I can't even remember the amount that he paid into it, like 50 something million or whatever. It's ridiculous that he can do that for a start. But it doesn't surprise me that Trump went and betrayed him for it. Nobody should trust Trump. He is absolutely ruthless. It was 100 million. Okay, well, I don't know the exact amount. I'll trust you on this one. But yeah, it's just going up and up. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous that that's allowable in the first place. Absolutely ridiculous. I get you. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, like, for Trump to go around and basically make an agreement and then break it, is that unexpected? Like, how stupid would you have to be? And like, people claiming, oh, Elon Musk is a genius. He sees everything coming. How stupid would you have to be to not realize that Trump, if it's in his best interest, he will 100% break his word to you? Like, you would have to be a moron to trust that guy's word that he will do these things that he's saying he would do. I don't know why you would ever trust him. I really don't know why anybody at this point, after Chris Christie was betrayed, after Scaramucci was betrayed, after all of these people, were basically thrown under the bus by Trump, why you would trust him is beyond me. I have no idea. No idea. Yeah, he stepped down a while back, Windmill, but the problem is nobody knows who's running the department. Like, nobody knows who runs that department. Nobody. It's wild. No, like, we don't know who's running Doge. We don't know. Nobody knows. They can't even seem to get, in Senate hearings, them to be able to tell them who runs it. I mean, they said that some woman ran it, but she was somebody away on vacation and wasn't available for comment. It was wild. It was the weirdest thing. It is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think she knows she's been promoted to the head of Doge. She's just somebody who works in the old department it used to be, because it used to be an older department. But nobody seems to know who runs it, including, the president, Elon. Nobody knows who runs it. Yeah, it was who was it? It was Amy Gleason is the one in charge on paper, but apparently she was away on holiday, and apparently somebody that works there said they described her as having little to no actual decision making. So, like, is she in charge? Who knows? It seems like that she's just, a fall person to take the heat when things go south. I don't think, you know, I don't think she actually works there. Yeah, so it used to be a US digital service. It was basically a department improving government software platforms, which, I mean, I got to support. Government software programs are always absolute dog crap. But, I don't think this person, she knows that she is actually in charge of the department. It's wild. I've never heard about anything. I've never seen anything like it. It is so wild. I so wild. Skynet runs Doge. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it could be. Look, I refuse to believe it. I think that if Skynet ran Doge, it would be a lot more. Yeah, a lot better run, a lot more efficient. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, peeps. Well, I mean, with that wild story and stupidity over. Look, yeah, I get that Elon wants to attack Trump and stuff, but none of this is new. None of this is new. It's just he's angry because he got all of his government contracts and his EV mandate taken away, and okay. I mean, he's attacking Trump. It's the right thing to do, but it's for the wrong reasons, quite frankly. It's because his bribe, Donald Trump hasn't come through with his end of the bribe. That's not a real reason to attack Trump. He's done so much worse than that, but I guess he's attacking Trump. It's good. I don't know, but it's for the wrong reason. So is that good? No, probably not. Wow. What a world. What a world. Okay, peeps. Well, you take care. That was Joe Kirby. I always love watching him, and I love that you came here to watch it with me because that was wild. Like the whole sun thing was awesome. I really enjoyed it, but it's mostly because you guys are here that I'm here. Actually, it's all because you guys are here that I'm here. I love doing that stuff with you peeps around. Thank you so much to everybody. Don't forget, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, everybody.